What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Matt from MWMedia. Today we are making a video. I'm starting off the year right. I know we're a little bit into the year, but that's okay. I'm gonna do, let me kind of backtrack a little bit really quick. I always get asked, not always, but I get asked occasionally, what camera do I have, what do I shoot with, what lenses do I use. Now I don't have the biggest thing, but all of these things that I found have been found on a budget. I'm going to do a what's in my camera bag. So for the first thing, I'm going to show you the bag. So this is the camera bag that I have. This is the camera bag that I use for whenever I do any photography. This is my go-to. This is what I use. It holds everything great. It's not too big. It doesn't take up too much space. I can take it with me on the go, throw it in the back of a car really quick. If you recall the pictures that I took from the gun range that we went to with a couple of my friends, it was perfect. I took this, I met up, jumped in the back of my buddy's truck, threw this in there, good to go. Not so much gear, not big. I actually fit it between my legs as we were driving because I was sitting in the back. But yeah, perfect size, and it holds everything great. So the camera that I have is the Canon 80D. It's not a brand new camera in a sense of it's the newest model out. It's also not a brand new camera in a sense that I bought it brand new. I actually went to Canon around Christmas time on their website, and I found this camera refurbished, so practically brand new. They made sure everything was good with it for a substantial discount off. And I said, if there's a time that I'm going to upgrade the camera, this is it. And I pulled the trigger, and I do not regret it. Hands down, one of the best cameras that I've ever used. I can shoot videos on it. It shoots in 60 frames per second. To get a little bit of a slow-mo, it's not a 120, but 120, I feel like 60 frames, but I can work with it. Leads me to the next thing. This is the T3i, Canon T3i. Now, I'm a big Canon fan. Now, it's not so much because it's the first thing I used, but I picked it up and I instantly liked it. It is a camera that I don't have a problem using. I still use. Now I use the 80D for my main stuff, but if I wanted to do a time lapse, or if I wanted to do a bunch of long exposures, and I didn't want to kill the battery that I have for the 80D, then I'll use the T3i. So with the camera body comes the camera lenses. So here I'm going to just quickly go through each lens and what I kind of use it for. Maybe throw up a couple examples in the background. First lens I'm going to talk about is this bad boy right here. This is the first lens. This exact lens is the first lens I ever got in my life. First lens I ever had with the camera. But this is the 18 to 55 millimeter EFS with the stabilizer and autofocus lens. It's the kit lens that comes with most cameras. I actually got a second one of these, which is what I'm shooting on now. With the 80D, that's the updated version of this lens. Now the next lens that I have is this big guy right here. It is the 55 to 250 millimeter stabilized, image stabilized lens. Photography, I do take pictures at like baseball games, and I can get up close with this lens too, because if you're sitting in the bleachers, you can't get right up close. With this, it works out perfectly. I've gone a little bit further. Once you get a little bit further, especially if you're trying to make videos with the longer lenses and with handheld, it gets extremely shaky. The next lens I'm talking about is the 24 millimeter f2.8 lens with the autofocus. Great small lens. It's a wonderful lens. I actually had this for probably say a month or so before I realized how good of a lens it was. It was one of those where I had it and I was like, oh, I'll just take it. It's so small, I'll just throw it in my bag, I might not use it. Then one day I said, you know what, I'm going to use this. I'm going to figure out what it's for, the best photography to use for it. And once I figured it out, I almost can't go a shoot without using this thing. This lens is the 50 millimeter lens, also known as the Nifty 50. Has a, I think 1.8 f-stop, which gives you that great bokeh in the background. This is definitely the lens that I would use for portraits, engagement photos, family portraits, anything, pets. This thing is a workhorse. There's a reason why they call it the Nifty 50, because you can literally find so many reasons to use this. Alright, first thing off the bat, I have battery chargers. Now this one will charge my phone a couple times. great. It'll charge the GoPro, which is great. Next is this bag, this guy right here. This holds all my memory cards, everything. It is just like that. It has slots here up top. Now it holds micro SD and normal SD cards. If you know me, battery life and memory storage are my two biggest things. I never want to run out of battery, and I never want to run out of storage. Next is this guy right here. This is just an organizer I have that has a bunch of different things in it. I have a extra battery for the T3i. I have ND filters, lens caps, anything extra diffusers for the light that I have that I'm currently using. That's kind of all in here. Anything that I have that I think I might need, I'll throw in here if it's small enough to fit. Next thing is the GoPro I've had. This is actually, before I got a real camera, I got a GoPro, which led me into getting a real camera. This is like my first investment into photography, cinematography, any type of video, photos. This is it, which I actually think I used for softball first, which was a very, very old video that I posted here. But this thing is great. It was not the most expensive GoPro, but this thing was great. Next thing I have is a flashlight, which is great, just in case. If you want to paint, light paint. I think I'm going to make a video on that in the near future, light painting, because I find it extremely interesting. It has to do with long exposure, so stick around, subscribe to the channel if you want to see that, because I know it's going to be coming very soon, especially with how dark it gets, how quickly it gets dark. But flashlight for that, or if it is dark and I'm like, I gotta go through my bag, boom, flashlight. You can see next to are for my camera themselves. I have a camera flash. This is the, I don't even know, newer Speedlight NW670. It's older. I think I am gonna update this in the near future, maybe. I know I'm going to, but I think I can make this work a little bit longer. Timer shutter release. I think that's right. It's a URS 7000. Works great. Have had zero issues with it. I got it about a year ago, and the batteries that I have inside of it are from when I first got it. So the battery life is phenomenal. I don't use it every day, but it is phenomenal. And it's good for shutter, controlling the shutter release, time lapses if you want to do them. Do a time lapse, taking pictures, plug this into the camera, set up all the settings on here, boom, it rolls through the camera, takes pictures for you. The other thing I like to do is for long exposure. I don't want to hit the button on the top because it'll shake the camera. Plug this bad boy in, click the button, boom, good to go. One of the final things is a mini tripod. I have this mainly for the GoPro, but I have found it will hold, surprisingly will hold the T3i. I do have a mount that goes on top of it, which is awesome. It'll hold that camera with a lens, not too heavy of a lens, but it'll still hold it. So I can definitely, like if I'm sitting at a table and I want to do a time lapse, boom, put this down, works great. Folds up, fits perfectly in the camera bag, takes up literally no space at all. Great fit just to throw in there, especially if I can hook the GoPro and one of my cameras up to it. The next thing is the light that I'm using. I'll link it below. Same thing with the mic. The mic will be down there. I'm actually, one of my good friends, not saying he's going to be on the channel in the near future, but he might. He just got a Rode mic, so I'm going to compare the mic that I have, which I'm using now, to his new Rode mic and see the comparison. And see if it's good, bad. We all know the Rode mic is great. That's one of the best mics out there for cameras. So I'm going to compare this one to that one and see if it can match up. This is what we call an ND filter. Now let me you see there, and you twist it. It's darker. Oh, maybe not be able to see. Lighter, darker, lighter, darker. Okay, and I'm going to explain it as quick as possible and the easiest way for you to figure it out. So when you walk outside and you're like, oh my gosh, the sun is so bright, what do you put on your face? Not sunscreen, it's a good guess, but sunglasses. This works as a sunglass or glasses, since I think that's two different that are, anyway, to go on the camera, like so. To let a little bit of light through, you can see it. a little bit darker, lighter, darker. Now what you do is when you need to adjust it, more, less. Now what I use this the most for is for long exposures. If it's really bright out and I don't want my videos to look like I'm standing on Antarctica with the white background, use this. It's great. It blocks the light. It works wonderfully. You can find them for relatively cheap. Amazon is the way to go. I'm not just saying that. That's where I pretty much get all of my equipment, because you can find the best deals. And the one thing I do, I'll let you know a little tip. The one thing I do with Amazon shopping is check the reviews. Not just the good ones, check the bad ones. Check them all. Not all 300 if somebody's got their... Read through a couple of them. Not just the good ones. Read the bad ones. Why are people rating them bad? Because what I've learned with working in customer care is that people rate something bad because it didn't come out as expected. Not because it didn't come out the way that it's supposed to. That's the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like. If you like the channel and where it's going, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. I promise you this. I'm working with some very creative people in the future. Very close future. And videos will be good. Better. Well, I still make good videos. It'll be cooler. I'll have guest stars and such, you know. Anyway, we'll